Welcome back to the Northern Steel Podcast, and welcome back, Chris Paskowski. The prodigal son returns. He's here, everybody. No more Derek. No more Viking fans. They can all get the first place in the NFC because they're the best team in the NFC, maybe. But Chris is back to talk about Steelers football, a team that cannot win, and we're here to talk about the disparities and struggles of the Pittsburgh franchise. Chris, how do you feel?
Well, Dom, it feels really good to be back. I feel like a new man. And I feel like a new man because I am now a Vikings fan. Thanks, Derek.
No. You look like a new man. You look like you have some toner.
You noticed.
I did. Your cheekbones look very lovely. And I gotta say, if your New Year's resolution was to slay, well, you're halfway there.
Queen. No, you see the cheekbones just are protruding because of the sleep deprivation, and my bags are just pushing down. So they're like pushing outward.
That was our best attempt to try to get some more female and LGBTQ audience members. Chris, this is episode 92 of the Northern Steel Podcast. Like always, Chris, name that number 92. Go.
I think we can all think of the classic. 92 that comes to everybody's mind.
The great.
Isaiah Loudermilk.
No. Oh, yeah. Isaiah Loudermilk.
Yeah. James Harrison, baby.
Ola Adini.
I was going to think of him too, but I didn't want to bash his name on my first time back.
I don't care. Welcome back to the Northern Steel Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We are back. If you listened to the last episode, which I posted yesterday, it was a preview of the Ravens game that was going to be on December 22nd. And Derek and I talked about the disappointment from playing against Philadelphia and what the Steelers can do to not go on a 3-game losing streak. The things they can do to survive the skid of really tough opponents in 11 days. And spoiler alert, Chris, they did not do those things. They lost against Baltimore. They lost against the Chiefs. They got destroyed in both. They looked like garbage. I mean, I'm kind of glad in a sense, not that we have enough following for people to really care. It's not people were around Christmas time wondering, where's my Northern Steel Podcast? How do I go on? That's what I was thinking myself, is how do I go on with life? But here we are. We've been, the Steelers have dropped 3 straight, and we're going to the last week of the season. Chris, before I get into like my reasons why I didn't want to do the podcast or thoughts, and that's not because I'm cowering away from the loss. I'll get into that. What did you think about these games or just in general, because you've been gone for a while?
For sure. Well, believe it or not, I actually did watch all of the games. I know people.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Chris? Why didn't he watch these games? Like, is he not a Steelers fan? No, I am. Just life happens. But anyway, let me give it to you straight, Dom. All right. I watched each game, and each game, my confidence in this team took a beating. Every single week, and it was a hard schedule. It's a gauntlet of what we went through. We all knew this was going to happen. But what I did not expect to happen was how badly beaten we would get each and every week for the last 3 weeks. Injuries happen. Yeah. Sure. I know we were out without George Pickens. You and I talked about how big of a role he plays in this offense, how badly we need wide receivers. Of course, other guys have been stepping up, but at the same time, it hurts. And then we had guys hurt on the defensive side of the ball and everything. And that's fine and dandy. But you look at literally any other successful team, the Lions, and I don't even think they have a single starter from their beginning of the year defense playing right now. I'm pretty sure Dan Campbell is out there in a Lions uniform, just trying to get reps in so he can stay in shape.
Might as well be.
But they're exceeding expectations, and they're honestly playing next man up. And we've had communication issues. We've had guys who just look unwilling to be out there. And as always, instead of playing the guys who maybe need to be out there, who want to be out there, Tomlin, good old Tomlin, he plays his veteran guys no matter what. He favors them. They get looks over younger dudes, maybe more deserving dudes. And it's just been disappointing and this is the same thing that happens year in and year out, where we finally play these good teams, the teams that you will face in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, if that is your ultimate goal. And instead of even making it close, I didn't even say, like, obviously I want to win each week, but I didn't say that when I was big. I was like, I just hope that is a close game. If we lose, I hope it is a close game to show that we are right up there with these guys. And we are not even close up there with those guys. It was pathetic. It was so bad and so sad to watch. I could go on all day, but like, we don't have the time. Yeah. It is getting late.
You're making up a lot of points, and the thing that's gonna be kind of confusing about this podcast for the average listener is I think we're gonna bounce around a lot, because I did have some things I want to say, but I actually would like to, in a conversation, which is kind of what a podcast should be, talk about some of the things that you said. I would like to talk about when you brought up fresh off my brain from what you just said is Tomlin's fault to play veterans over young guys. And I know you're alluding to Cameron Sutton, who after the Chiefs game, a lot of the defense was bringing up how if 10 guys on the defense do their job and one guy doesn't, it's going to tear the whole thing apart. And they're frustrated with a player. They seem to be calling out one specific player. Everybody's wondering, who could that be? Is it Minka? Is it Patrick Queen? Even though he made his own comments, is it somebody else? And through the tape, people have found out that it's probably Cam Sutton. He's been really bad in communication and in coverage. Beanie Bishop was playing better early on in the year and was replaced because Cam Sutton's a veteran. And that's what Tomlin does. And I think it is frustrating, Chris, because there's something that, like, I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about this on Twitter. And you know me with my Twitter fingers lately. Maybe I'll bring this up one day and see if I get a lot of love from it. But Zach Frazier is having a great year. Just voted Rookie of the Year on the Steelers. Not in the NFL, on the Steelers. Just voted best Rookie of the Year for the Steelers. Having a phenomenal year, Zach Frazier, the center. And it's awesome that we might have a centerpiece, no pun intended, for the next decade. But if it wasn't for Nate Herbig getting an injury in training camp, as serious as it was, Zach Frazier would have never started this year. And I live by that statement. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. They would have put Nate Herbig out there and he would have sucked for a long time. I don't think Frazier would have got the start until maybe after a bye week or ever. He would have never gone out there.
To your point, another guy who's killing it is Mason McCormick. And the same thing, you know, he would have never played if James Daniels did not get hurt and out for season.
To be fair, I do want to cut off. To be fair, I do want to say that James Daniels was already having a bomb season. I know in one game, but he was he was going to be a stud regardless.
No,
so fair, to lose a stud for Mason McCormick is like whatever. But like Nate Herbig wasn't going to be good. No offense to Nate, but he was not going to be good.
No, not at all.
That goes for also, you know, in uncharted territories too, where I think I'm in the minority on this thought process, and I get it because we're close to the end of the season and we're close to playoff time. So why make a switch again? But you know, even when it first originally happened, Tomlin switched to Russell Wilson, and we weren't really fans of that decision at all. And it ended up working out really well, right? But but then you look at the numbers now, and Russell Wilson played a lot of really bad defenses, and he looked really good on them. And then the three good teams he's played, he's looked really bad, like Broncos, Russell Wilson bad. And even though it was early on the season and teams changed throughout the year, Justin Fields played some really good defenses. He played the Chargers. He played the Broncos. Falcons were a better defense back then. He played some better defenses, and he found ways to score. The red zone was better. And I'm in the opinion right now, and maybe minority opinion, I don't know how you feel, Chris, where because Russ has done so bad, and maybe it's just me kind of throwing in the towel on the season already because I've seen this song and dance for 8 years now. Throw Russell Wilson back, throw Justin Fields back in there. I don't really care at this point because I'd rather see him start because Russell Wilson's 100 years old.
Yeah, I mean, here's kind of where I'm at with the whole Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing is I think Russell Wilson came in and he lit up these, like you said, these bad defenses, and he provided a spark to this offense that we hadn't seen in a long time. Like you said, we were a lot more efficient in the red zone with Justin Fields. We weren't scoring necessarily as much, but we ended up having a lot more like deep plays resulting in touchdowns with Wilson in there. The issue is, I think you put Fields in these last 3 games. I don't know if I could confidently say there'd be a different result and or closer games, so to speak. Which I think a lot of people, in my opinion, need to kind of like put into perspective. I'm a Justin Fields fan. I'm glad we brought him on. I think he should be the guy moving into 2025 season personally. But at the same time, like to see all the things of like, if Russ doesn't do well against the Bengals, then we should start Fields in the playoffs. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. We just went, and to his defense, and we should be competitive with these teams. Like I stated earlier, we just went against the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles. I was hoping our offense would at least make it competitive, but our defense was a huge, huge problem in those 3 games.
Yeah.
You put Fields in there. I'm not going to stand here and be like, oh, the game would have been closer.
Because the defense was the problem.
Yeah, it really was,
and
everything. And I think it's kind of unfair to Wilson, who has provided some excitement to the year, to be like, oh, well, if he doesn't do good against the Bengals, then let's sit him. And I'm like, to also be fair, the Bengals might be the hottest team in the NFL right now. They haven't lost a game since going 4-8. They're about to be on a 5-game win streak. I'm sorry that I said that. But like realistically, Joe Burrow is having an MVP season. They should have never lost half of their games that they did.
They should have lost either game to Baltimore. Should have beat Baltimore both times.
No. Yeah, both times. So it's just, I think people are just so quick to jumping to conclusions. I think at this point, Russ is going to get the nod moving forward.
Well, yeah. It's not necessarily like jumping to conclusions, in my opinion.
No. But to some people, yeah, I'm not saying you.
And
I'm
also
just saying
fans are.
He should be sad.
You're right, because fans are brain dead too.
Very much so.
Where I come from in this, and I guess we all get this now, is I'm not throwing in the towel, I guess, per se. But I'm going to enjoy the football we have left. We have the Bengals game. Yeah. We have at least one playoff game. But Tomlin has not. I mean, we're in our longest playoff drought since the 60s. We haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. The Tomlin fallacies are showing their ugly head. He talked about how there's going to be changes after these 3-week skid, and there's not any changes. Nothing's going to be different. When I talk about bringing Justin Fields in, it's because I guess I'm already like, I don't know, I'm kind of packing in the season in mentally. Now, if they can turn around a lot, I mean, call me a fair weather fan, even though I don't believe to be, but like I'll lock in. But I've seen this song and dance for 8 straight years. They do this, and there's no urgency to change who they are. There's no aggressiveness to change what they got to do. Their main mantra is like, we just got to play better. We just got to go out there and we just got to play better. We just got to play better. There's no coaching. There's no responsibility. There's no taking action and trying to change it yourself, Tomlin. So looking forward to like these games, we talked about the Bengals game. I know you just made a joke about them losing, and yeah, they might lose, but it's like even if they do, some people are like, "Oh, I'm so nervous this game." I guess I don't really care. I'm just gonna.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the football I have left to watch, and then hope to be proven wrong. But right now, I'm assuming their season's kind of hitting the toilet again.
I'll be honest. If it goes into halftime and we're down by like 20 points, I might say, you know what, Tomlin, this would be the best time where I'd say sit your starters because give them as much rest as possible if you want a chance in the playoffs. But at the same time, like the only reason I'd want to win this, I mean, obviously I want a win's a win, so I'll take that. But the biggest reason I'd want to win, which I don't know if it matters, but we'd secure the 5 and then we'd play the Texans, and they're the only team that I'd feel confident to beat.
Okay,
we're not beating the Chiefs. Yeah. We're not beating the Bills. I know people are going to hate me for this, but like the beatdown we took in Baltimore, that's probably bound to happen again this year.
Well, especially if our defense is playing the way it was as well too, and in the offense, I mean, the coaches can't. Arthur Smith is really struggling. He still sucks. I think I've said this every single week. Yes, he's better than Matt Canada, but again, I mean, this is like my mantra for the year. The bar for Matt Canada is in the depths of hell. So yes, he's better than Matt Canada, but he's still not good. And we just got weird decisions. I mean, Calvin Austin still hasn't been used to his full effect, even though he's been coming out a lot more lately. Roman Wilson had a full week of practice. We're not putting him in. Why not? Who the hell cares at this point? It's for sure. It's going to be interesting, and yeah, confidence isn't the right word for the Texans, but I know what you mean though. It's like that's probably their best chance to win a game. But you had asked me a couple weeks ago on the phone. You said if we win a playoff game, and people have been asking this too, if we win a playoff game, do you count the season as a success? And I say no. Even if we win a playoff game, I don't count the season as a success. A successful season to me, based on the past 8 years of mid that we've gone through, a successful season to me is if we made it to the AFC Championship game, and if we still lost, but the score was close, because we've been losing every playoff game, but letting up the most points on defense that year. That's a true stat that I shared with you a week ago. Every year we've lost the playoffs. That's the most points we let up that year on defense. Against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game in the 2016 season, we let up 47 points. That was the most. Against the Jaguars, let up 45. That was the most. Even last year against the Bills, or against the Browns, that was the most points we let up in the defense. And then last year against the Bills, we let up 31. That was the most in that season. We let up 30 a couple times, which we went back and looked at. But we keep letting up the most amount of points in the playoffs in a game to lose. And that's a huge indictment of Tomlin, who's Mr. Defense guy, which is just embarrassing and awful. We've been trying to get rid of Terrell Austin for eons, you and I have. And people are now catching on. So hopefully we can catch on a little faster and get someone better. But my success would be if we made it to the Eastern Championship game. And even if we lost by like 3. And it's like 24, 20, 20, 21, Then I'd be like, okay, we're right there. We're right there. Let's run it back and let's see what we can do. That's a successful season to me. But if we win against the Texans and we play the Bills, Chris, and we lose 42-13, I don't care. That's not a successful season. That's a failure again.
Absolutely. I could not agree more.
Well, after that rant, do you want to go talk about the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals? Let's go into our last one. I've been queuing them up every week, and it just hasn't felt the same without you, Chris. So cue up our favorite segment called
Keys to the Game.
There it is, the sultry sounds of Chris Baskowski. Chris, why don't you lay down the keys to the game for us?
All right, so it's a very, very simple keys to the game, and that is don't be the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is the only way we can win this game. No. Okay, so obviously Joe Burrow, we all know him.
Joe Burr.
He's cold. Gritty on all of us if we let him. But what's something that he has faced many times before in the past? that has been his Achilles heel.
TJ Watt?
Exactly, the blitz.
Oh.
I mean, TJ Watt for sure.
Yeah, the blitz for a team that doesn't blitz at all. But yeah, go on.
I mean, realistically, if there's a time to maybe change some things up and look at different things, now's the time to ststart doing it.
And there's a time to change things up.
Yeah,
Chris, you make me laugh. We all live in fantasy land.
We've been stressing it. Like, look, I know you apply the blitz, you're putting a lot of faith into our defensive backs. And especially when you're going up against the Triple Crown winner of Jamar Chase this year, that's going to be hard. But if you give Burrow less than 2 seconds to make a decision, hopefully it causes some disruption. Maybe there's going to be some more forced, turnovers in there. And we got to beat them up. I mean, T. Higgins is questionable. Like Chase Brown is questionable. I don't know if those guys are playing. And that's honestly pretty huge for us because Chase Brown destroyed us last time. He ran all over our defense. And then T. Higgins is on fire right now. Right?
He's a future Steeler.
Hopefully, I would take it. But realistically, I think we got to stop our current game plan. We got to really apply the blitz to Burrow and get him rushed and panicked. So that's key number one, personally. Number two is we have to find a rhythm back on offense. Last time we played the Bengals, that was honestly our best offensive game of the entire year.
In 6 years, literally since the game I went to live against the Carolina Panthers on a Thursday night football game with my wife in 2018. That was the best offensive game the Steelers have had since.
Exactly. It will not happen again quite like that because I do think their defense is figuring things out a bit. But at the same time, you got to exploit them. You have to score on literally every drive, regardless if it's field goals or touchdowns, and you have to be aggressive. Okay. Yeah. I'm talking about getting the ball out. George Pickens is a big target. He only got 3 catches last time we played these guys, which is kind of surprising for scoring 41 points. But do it. Establish a run game. Get George Pickens the ball. Get the offense into the end zone. Heck, even if we don't, let's get Boss to break the field goal record and get 6 field goals. That'd break my heart. But offense has to be moving. We have to apply pressure. And honestly, I do think that if there's a game where the turnover battle means more than anything, it is this game because we can't make any mistakes because I don't know how much we'll actually score. And this is a team that scores probably 35 points per game. So if we can even get like 1, 2 turnovers on them to stop them from scoring opportunities, that will be huge. And those are my keys to the game. Dom, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, let's start backwards first with the turnovers because I agree completely. The turnover used to be the team's reason for winning games this year. These past 3 games has been their biggest deficit to keep losing games. I think they've been losing the turnover battle. And when they've been getting turnovers, they haven't been scoring points off of them. And also, they're also just not jumping on, they're not getting as many turnovers as they should. I mean, they played the Ravens that we watched together, and there was 3 fumbles that they didn't recover. So the ball wasn't bouncing their way in any of those games. So yeah, not only do they have to win the turnover battle, play a clean game, get turnovers from the Bengals, but when they get the turnovers, like you said, stopping them from scoring, Steelers need to score. They need to draw that blood, and they need to pile it on as best they can. From a defensive standpoint, I mean, besides the turnovers, which can be kind of gimmicky things, let's talk about something realistic as a key to the game I want to see change and maybe give me some kind of breath of positivity for next week's playoff game, and that's 100% better communication. I do not want to see I don't want to see anybody out there like this. What? Huh? Who? Where do I go? What do I do? And I don't want to see anybody wide open unless it's Jamar Chase breaking someone's ankles, which he can do. That's a given.
He can.
That's a given. If Jamar Chase is wide open because he outran somebody on a route, that's fine. It's Jamar Chase.
It happens.
But if Dante Jackson lets up a 60-yard bomb to Mike Gesicki, I will drink bleach.
I will join you.
The communication's got to be really tight, not just in general for this game, but also going forward. And that's something I'm going to be actively paying attention to. And then with the offense, like you said, obviously this team, the Bengals, can score a lot of points. So the offense needs to find a way to get that mojo back. And Russell Wilson's been really struggling, holding on to the ball way too long in the pocket. All his stats where he was number one and tops in the league have dropped to like bottom 3 in the league in these past 3 to 4 weeks. It's been a crazy decline so quickly. He needs to find a way to play. And his future is riding on these games. His new contract is riding on these games. Kind of why I feel like they should play Justin, because that, in my opinion, who cares? But you know what? I love being proven wrong, to be honest. I do think, Chris, I'm going to go here and say it as an egotistical person. I do think 90% of the time I do know ball. But there is time where I do not know ball, and I would love to be proven wrong. I'm sitting here telling you guys, Steeler fans, that I don't think the Steelers are going to succeed, that I think they're going to lose and either lose the playoffs. And that's truly how I feel. And I would love to be proven wrong, because not only would listeners tell me, hey, Dom, you don't know jack shit, but also I go, you're right. And I'm happy we're winning. So it's a win-win it's a win-win. You win and I win. And it's great. So I'm hoping Russ can do things that he doesn't do normally. I hope he can throw down the middle of the field, get Frymouth more involved, get Darnell Washington more involved, get Calvin Austin on some crossing routes, throw some slants, for God's sake. Like,
and
open
also,
it up.
that's another dude that you just said that I haven't seen since
Cincy,
Baltimore, or Cincy. Yeah, Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
Like, where has he been? He's been so good for us, and now we're just like, well, let's not throw to the 6'9" fella over here.
It's insane. We have I remember a point I was going to talk about, and this is kind of getting away from the keys of the game a little bit, but like I've seen a lot of people talk about the talent of the team. Oh, they need more of this, they need more of that. And I think you and I have preached this for a long time. It is coaching and scheme. That's what matters, you guys. It really is. I do think we have a talented roster. Even like someone who I respect online, like Nick Farabaugh, shout out to Nick. He was like, this roster is not good enough for the Super Bowl. I disagree. I think it is. I think the schedule, I think the scheme and the coaching is not good enough to win a Super Bowl. That's what I think. I think the roster is good enough to win a Super Bowl. Are you going to sit here and tell me the Vikings roster is good enough to win a Super Bowl? Get real, dog. They're not going to win a Super Bowl, and they could this year because our coaching is so good.
And they've lost a lot of people, especially the best left tackle in the entire NFL.
Kevin O'Connell is insane. Brian Flores, obviously insane. Great coach.
Oh, we should have kept him.
I mean, can you name a single Viking defender on that team besides Harrison Smith? You can't. We can. We live here. You can't. You can't name another person.
I was about to be like, whoa.
No,
I can.
We can. You, listener, who's not from Pittsburgh, who's not from Minnesota, you cannot name another Viking player who's good.
Whoa. Actually. Hey, Kenna, come here real quick. All right.
Kenna lives here. It doesn't count.
No. But for someone who did, look, my wife is in the championship game of fantasy football right now, and she's winning.
All right, let's get it for Kenna.
All right. Yeah, she knows ball.
W's in the chat.
Get over here. Get over here quick. She's too shy, but kind of name a Vikings defender. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen?
I heard it. Blake Cashman.
Tell me who that is, people in the chat. Oh, you don't know? Because you don't know ball. My wife knows ball. Good job, honey.
She's like Harrison Butker. Just kidding.
You're like, good.
And you're like, get back in the kitchen. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. Great.
That's all right. I was going to make a bad joke earlier when I said when you talked about Gesicki, and I was like, in Bleach, That's gonna be like, actually, that's the noise people make after they drink bleach.
Giuseppe. Yeah, we're back, baby. We're so back.
So back.
That's our whole point, though, is that Minnesota, they're a really well coached team. There's like, you can say like, oh, Minnesota has Justin Jefferson and they have Aaron Jones and they have Jordan Addison. They do, but they also have Sam Darnold at quarterback. And I know, I don't care. I really don't care. I think Sam Darnold's good too. He's not that good. He's great in that scheme. A lot of Steelers fans are like, hey guys, instead of Russell Wilson or Justin Fields next year, let's get Sam Darnold. Do you actually believe Sam Darnold's going to play well in this garbage ass system? No, he's not. No one's going to play good in this system. Sam Darnold's not going to play good in the Steelers system until they grow up and get some actual assistant coaches worth anything.
The last player to play well in this system was Big Ben, and that's because he didn't play in the system.
He made his own system. He made his own system, exactly.
The amount of times Matt Canada was calling plays, and he's like,
"Yeah, I'm not."
And then he
I'm
just
not playing that.
Did a hurry up offense. He did that with him. He did it with Randy Fichtner. He did it with Bruce Arians. Like the dude was like, "I'm just gonna do."
He even did it with a good offensive coach and Todd Haley. He did it with everybody. He called his own plays. So, yeah, coaching, it just matters so much. And we just don't have the stuff. Tomlin, I mean, bless his heart. Shout out to the GOAT, to a legend that's done a lot for Steelers Nation. His time's up. I've said that for a while. We said that for a while. And we just don't have the coaching to get it done. But again, people, prove me wrong.
Look, I have one last thing to say about Tomlin, then we can move on. I would be fine if Tomlin wanted to stay head coach and carry on, because I do think he's a great leader and motivator. But I do think if he could hire better coaches and like more staff, I would feel so much better about the situation, because I do think it would make all the difference. And not only that, if he would stop taking, because I do think Tomlin does make a lot of the play calls, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't trust Terrell Austin either. Like, I'm not giving him the calls, but like, you obviously hire these coaches for a reason. You delegate tasks for them. It's their job to run these things. Mr. Smith, the authority, but like, no, like, come on, dude. I just hire better coaches. I think you're a coach that's well recognized, and players want to play for you. So like, and you said it yourself. You like, there's guys on my team like TJ, Cam, Minka. I all want to like experience the confetti. I want them to win. Well, do what you can to help them succeed by getting them the right coaches and everything to help. What's
really ironic and hypocritical is that Tomlin hires coaches the same way he starts players. He only hires assistant coaches that are like longtime veterans who've had a lot of experience in the NFL, which is crazy hypocritical, because how much experience did Tomlin have before his head coaching job? Did some franchise take a chance on a young 30-year-old to lead an entire franchise?
Well, didn't he assistant defensive coach for the Bucs when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, not very long. Assistant coach for the Vikings on defense. That's what I'm saying. He was a young up and comer, a brand new guy with all the tools and the credentials. Someone who looks awesome. And what if the Steelers were like, yeah, we could hire Mike Tomlin. He seems like a really nice up and comer. Or we could hire Bill Parcells, who's 80 years old.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Thanks.
Like Tomlin's like, I could hire Clint Kubiak or Arthur Smith. Get your Amazon package out here, baby. Bring it to my door. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Chris, we've been doing picks. I haven't kept track of any of the picks we've been good at or bad at. Who cares, really? It's the last week of the NFL. Let's do some picks and let's get the break out of here. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Real quick, I do want to say Happy New Year's to everyone who's listening. Welcome to the big 2025.
Yes, Happy New Year.
I've been drinking wine this entire time, and my cup says cuties. So we're bringing in 2025 with a bang.
Cheers. And there's Kenna.
Goodbye, Kenna.
And she goes, no.
All right, week 18, final season. Thank God, almost over.
Let's do it.
Browns at Ravens for the division.
Browns. No, I'm kidding. Ravens. It's going to be a blah, except Bailey zapping defenses. I feel better with him than DTR.
I agree. Do us a favor, Zap. Go off, baby. Go off. That would be so awesome. But I'm also going Ravens.
Remember when you beat us?
Yeah,
last year?
Do that. Let's do that.
It's not that hard.
I mean, like Zap. I know the Browns are trying to tank to get a better pick, but like you're fighting for your job. Try to win,
Zap,
baby. Zap, baby.
Hey, baby, Zap.
Try to win.
Zap,
you're fighting for your job, man. The Browns don't care about you.
Zapdos EX. Come on, boy.
Oh, a little TCG action. Next we got Bengals at Steelers. Oh, I'm going Ravens too, by the way. Yeah.
You know.
Actually, you know, I'm going Steelers, and I always do.
I just because it's the last season, not this season.
It is the last season.
The last season.
Tear it down.
I will say Steelers as well, but like,
it's also I'm very much on the who cares, but yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers.
I will consider it a win if TJ Watt gets half a sack.
No, what? 3 sacks.
No, okay, that'd be ecstatic, but
3 sacks, we lose by 30 points. Panthers at Falcons.
Give me a P.
No.
Give me an A.
Don't do it.
Give me an N.
You're insane.
What does that spell? Panthers. Oh. Go Panthers.
Are you serious?
Why not?
That's fair. I mean, Panthers have been playing really well. I'm gonna go Falcons. Ain't nothing better than a Penix, a junior. So
kind of a small Penix.
Small Penix, big Penix. It just matters how you use them, and I think they're using them well. So,
nice.
they're fighting for a playoff spot. They could win the division if the Buccaneers somehow lose. So they're going to be trying their best. I'm going Falcons. Next, let's go Seahawks at Rams. Gino against Garoppolo.
Look, I know what you're thinking. Matt Stafford isn't playing. Jimmy Garoppolo is. They'll never win. Which is why I'm picking Seattle.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I haven't heard about anybody else, but I can't imagine that they rest Stafford and they're like, all right, Cooper and Nakua, get out there. I mean, they're probably resting them too. So I'm going to go Seattle as well.
You'd hope.
You got Giants and Eagles. The Eagles are resting Saquon Barkley. He will not be breaking Eric Dickerson's record. And they're resting
Hurts my heart.
And speaking of Hurts, he's out still with a concussion. And Kenny Pickett, speaking of Hurts, broken ribs. So
what a gross game. Tanner McKee versus
Drew Lock, 5 touchdown MVP player of the week.
Dude, honestly, Giants.
Yeah, Giants. I agree.
Why not? I mean, Eagles have a way better roster, in my opinion, but
Giants have shown they actually don't care about losing and they'd rather win games, which their fan base hates. So I'm going to go Giants. They're going to try to win.
I would too.
Then you got, not that one. Let's go Chargers at Raiders.
Chargers. They have to win.
I don't think they don't have to win.
Okay, they don't have to, but like, depends on where they want to keep their seeding or potentially move up in seeding.
I am curious about that as well. I'm not sure if they will rest or not. I feel like Jim Harbaugh is the kind of guy that doesn't rest their players. But regardless, even if he does rest his players, I think I'm still picking Chargers. Then we got Niners at Cardinals in a big who cares bowl.
Cardinals.
Going Cardinals as well. Brock Purdy is not playing. Trent Williams is not playing. And San Francisco chose not to play this year. So Cardinals. Up next, we got Chiefs at Broncos.
Broncos, baby.
You don't believe in Wentz?
I mean, no, I just believe in the Chiefs trying to finagle their way into not letting the Bengals play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment to not let the Bengals in. And that would be the best way to do it. I think Wentz is actually, Wentz to me is like Sam Darnold to the Vikings. I think Wentz could be good in the NFL. And honestly, if the Steelers got rid of both their quarterbacks and Wentz is available, I'd be like, I'll take him for a year. Why not?
I mean, what's the difference than what we've experienced like the last 3 years?
I agree. I'll take them. But regardless, I am also going to pick Broncos. They should have beat them last time. They're fighting for their life. They have not. When's the last time the Broncos have been to the playoffs? Chris, go.
2015.
What was their last playoff game they played?
Against the Panthers,
which was
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, thank you. They have not been to the playoffs since the Super Bowl of Peyton Manning.
Was I right?
That's right.
Holy God, good job, Chris.
That's almost a decade. So they'd be fighting for their life to get to the playoffs.
Wow, I can't believe that was the last time they made the playoffs. That's nuts.
That's the last playoff game was the Super Bowl.
I should have said Tim Tebow against the Steelers.
Until 2011.
In the ruin. Yeah, broke my heart.
Texans at Titans. Here's the deal.
I'm pretty sure Texans are not playing any of their guys because my fantasy is saying Nico Collins. How about -5 points?
Yeah, because they can't move. They can't move up.
Yeah,
and they can't move down.
I'm saying Tennessee.
Tennessee is also split in quarterbacks. They're split between Mailboy and Rudolph, which is not conducive at all. But I think I'm going to go Tennessee as well, just because both those guys are fighting for their jobs and for another contract with a different team. Then you got Jaguars at Colts in a big who cares game. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't really care who starts the Colts. Anthony Richardson, don't care. Joe Flacco, don't care. I think I'm still going to go Jaguars. Mac Jones has actually been playing pretty decent lately. Not great, but pretty decent. And Mac Jones is another player who's trying to earn a starting spot on a different team next year. Is he going to get that? No. But he wants to earn that, so he's going to be giving it his all. I'm going to go Jags.
Can I be completely real with you right now?
Please. Would love if you were.
I understand being frustrated in your team more than the next guy, right?
Yeah.
But I think if I was either a Colts and or a Jaguars fan, there would be no such thing as like a happy day. And like I watch these teams and I get so confident. Like last week, I was like, Colts all the way, baby. That's going to be such an easy game against the Giants. And it should have been. And then they lost terribly. And then you have the Jaguar. Okay, first off, let me finish my thought on the Colts. Colts are just bad. They're so inconsistent in everything they do. They win games they should lose. They lose games they should win. It doesn't make sense, and they never make the playoffs. Next team, the Jaguars. How can you be happy when you literally still put all of your faith into Trevor Lawrence? And I'm not saying it's his fault that they're not successful, but like, you've made the changes. You got him new players. You got him new coaches, and you're still ass. Like, what is this? The Browns? Like, come on, dude. I feel so bad. This is an apology to all you Colts and Jaguar fans. I'm sorry. I hope the game ends in a tie. Well, so you can both win.
Make their day worse and pick a winner.
It's who's home?
Colts.
Now I'm going Jaguars.
Okay. Commanders at Cowboys.
You didn't pick. Who'd you say?
I said Jags already, man. Mac Jones is fighting for his life. He wants a job.
Sure.
Okay. Commanders at Cowboys.
Are Commanders playing?
It's unclear because they can. So them and the Packers are both in the playoffs. It's clinched, but they can both go 6-7. And it's like, okay, who do you want to play at 6? Do you want to play the Rams, or do you want to play the Eagles? you know? So I'm not sure. Are they going to rest their guys or are they going to try to win? I think it's unclear. Regardless, in my opinion, I'm still going Commanders because even if they rest Jaden Daniels, I trust Mariota more than Cooper Rush and the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Commanders as well.
And then same situation. You got Bears and Packers. Packers, they could be resting.
Packers.
They could be resting guys too, but do they want to play the Eagles? I don't know if they do. I'm going to say Packers, and I even trust Malik Willis more than Caleb Williams right now. So
Bears players and conferences have already been like, I have already booked my tickets for vacation, and I'm just waiting for that last game because my flight is this Sunday at like 5.
And even if Malik Willis plays, he's undefeated as a Packer, so he's obviously the better quarterback anyways.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Packers.
Dolphins at Jets. That's a big who cares.
Honestly, I think it's going to be the Dolphins, but I'm just going to say Jets for the hell of it.
I'm going to say Dolphins because I feel like the Jets are such a dumpster fire. You good?
Yeah.
You got attacked by your wife?
I got scared.
Got spooked?
Yeah.
Can you believe your spouse lives with you? That's crazy.
I know. Who would have thought?
The Jets are such a dumpster fire right now. Aaron Rodgers is packing it in. He's not even going on his darkness retreat next year. That's how lost in the sauce he is. Devontae Adams is not being re-signed by the Jets, which is really awesome. I'm really glad that the Jets tried so hard to get him instead of us getting him. He could have been wide receiver 2 on our team, but that's fine. They're just a big mess. And the Dolphins aren't even playing Tua. I think they're playing, what's his nuts? Pro Bowl quarterback, Tyler Huntley.
But I thought it was Skylar Thompson. But...
No, it's Snoop Huntley. I'm gonna go Dolphins because they can still potentially make the playoffs. They won't, but they can. So
sure.
Then you got it? Nope. You got 3 more. Saints at Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. 100%.
Yeah, because they're fighting for the division. So yeah, Buccaneers. Bills at Patriots. I think the Patriots have the number 1 pick in the draft locked in, so it doesn't matter if they win or lose. And the Bills, honestly, even with resting their guys, because they won't move down to 3. They're going to rest all their people. Even with Mitch Trubisky playing, I think I still pick the Bills winning.
Yeah, I'm picking the Bills.
And the last game of the year, in the regular season, Vikings at Lions.
Vikings, baby.
I'm going
They're winning.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings too. I think the Lions, they're insane, right? Offense is absolutely nuts. But they have... Vikings defense is playing great, and Lions it's going to be a great game. I don't know what I have else to say. I'm going to go Vikings too, but it's going to be an insane, absolutely nuts game, I think.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It'd be really funny if the score was like 9-6. Anyways,
that'd be crazy actually, but
that's gonna do it.
I'm predicting like 30s for both sides. But anyway,
sure.
Continue with your outcome.
That's it for the podcast. It's just like that. Well, that's how I ended it. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. All right, bye.
All right, see you.
All right, see you. All right, that's it for the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to Northern Steel Podcast. We are in 2025, people. We're coming up on our 4th year doing this podcast. We haven't gained a single goddamn follower. I'm going to try and change that this year. We'll see what happens. But thank you if you do listen. Thank you so much for listening and taking the time. I know there's a lot of Steeler content out there. If you're tired of what's up?
Mediocrity.
Thank you so much. I was having a stroke in my brain. If you're tired of the mediocrity from most of Steelers media, we do know ball, and that's not an egotistical thing to say. It is true. It's a fact. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being a supporter. If you would like to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, RedTube, Pornhub, Grubhub, Zillow, Zulu, Google, Yahoo, Bing, and ChatGPT.com. Chris, do you have any last words for the people?
Go Steelers.
Whoa, got him. Go Steelers indeed. See you guys for at least one more week. Deuces. Peace.
Peace.